This is Ashley with Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 anime Netflix originals.
Where are you from?
Below.
For this list, we'll be looking at the anime that originated on Netflix broadcasting. Did any of these tempt you into reinstating your subscription? Let us know in the comments. And as always, you can catch me on Twitter at AshJBo, so head over there, give me a follow, and let me know which anime list you want to see next. Number 20, Baki, Adventure of Sinbad.
おっちゃんは英雄なんだろ。あんな奴ら本気出したら一発で倒せるじゃないか。
Who was Sinbad before he rose up to become king? The answer, one of the most entertaining scoundrels you're likely to come across. While Aladdin and Alibaba's adventures were nothing to scoff at and did a wonderful job at introducing us to this fantastical world, Sinbad is just too much fun. As part of the course of the Magi series, this original story not only boasts plenty of emotionally charged moments, but for all intents and purposes, it's just a great big action romp that chronicles the life of one of the franchise's favourite sons. Number 19, Ajin, Demi-Human. What would you do if you discovered that you were practically immortal? Well, in the case of Student K, you'd run like hell to avoid becoming a government experiment.
Not that. Anything but that.
After discovering that he is the furthest thing from human, he finds himself unwillingly thrown into a conflict between his species and the cruel government organization that wishes to use all Ajin for their own twisted motives. Love seeing the worst that humanity has to offer? Netflix has got you covered. Number 18, Aggretsuko. Don't let her adorably fluffy frame fool you. Retsuko is caught in the mundane hell that is office life, dealing with an overbearing boss, a disintegrating social circle, and no prospect of a bright future. Her solution? Rocking out at her local karaoke bar with plenty of death metal.
I'm just dropping off your food.
Leave it on the table.
In spite of the fact she's a red panda and bursts into a screaming solo every time she becomes enraged, there's something wholly relatable about the obstacles Retsuko faces on a daily basis, with enough charm to its name to keep you entertained all throughout. Just please give our boy Haida a chance at love already.
Oh, let's go.
Hey, Haida, what's up?
Number 17, Guns O. For those that have a special place in their hearts for the original series, or for casual anime viewers who just want to see heads roll, then this adaptation is right up your alley. Taking on the Osaka arc, we see the likes of Kato and a new team encounter some of the most violent and imposing aliens ever, which is saying a lot for Gantz. The animation style makes each kill pretty hard to watch, and trust us, you are gonna see a lot of bodies torn to pieces in this flick. Though it may be worth it just to see that one mecha suit. Number 16, Fate Apocrypha.
行くぞ、黒のセイバー。
来い、赤のセイバー。
The Fate series is, well, complex to say the least. So instead of taking you through a dedicated PowerPoint presentation, Netflix decided to treat fans and newcomers alike to this latest iteration, one that stands on its own as a contained story that requires no prior viewing, and instead dedicates its time to busting out an endless slew of astounding animated battles. With two warring sides, plenty of characters to attach yourself to, Rider Black. Apocrypha is definitely one fantasy epic to check out. Number 15, Great Pretender. This came out of nowhere and ended up enrapturing plenty with the sharpness of its plotting, thrill of its capers, and sheer joy of watching a bunch of conmen trot the globe in search of fortune.
コンフィデンスマンさ
A crime comedy with plenty of wit, watching the cast plan and execute their various thefts the world over, and all the dangers that come with it, turned into Netflix's new golden boy.
逃げる準備だけはしとけ
It's got action, the humor is just the right amount of zany, and every interaction between Abigail and Edamame is just delightful.
ただの君は演技だっただか
Number 14, Carol and Tuesday. Brought to us by the director of Cowboy Bebop himself, this celebration of music and its ability to unite people is nothing short of beautiful.
私ありがとう
From the stunning visuals, the sci-fi backdrop, the guest musicians, who contribute an eclectic mixture of genres, all the way to our titular duo's journey to make it in an industry during a time of strife, this series hits plenty of high notes. While the plot can certainly meander at times, there's nothing fake about the legitimate joy you'll feel watching Carol and Tuesday take to the stage.
It's a little cold in paradise tonight. Love faded, finding new forms.
Number 13, BNA, Brand New Animal. Did it reach the heights found in Trigger's previous canon of work? Well, not quite, but it certainly delivered when it came to showcasing their strong points, i.e. a distinctive animation scape that lent itself to blistering battles and intriguing commentary on humanity's numerous faults.
お前か獣人の祝祭をぶち壊したのは
私じゃない私はちょっと柱を叩いただけ
それで爆発するか
しないでしょだから私じゃないって
After suddenly finding herself transformed into a tanuki, the once human Michiru flees to a city built to shelter beastmen from prejudice and oppressiveness. From there, she becomes embroiled with the lone wolfman Shiro, as well as secrets sure to take the polish off the so-called paradise she now calls home. Number 12, High Score Girl. Equal parts a homage to the video games of yesteryear, as well as an adorable romance between two arcade junkies. There's a little here for everyone.
28連勝なんて強い小娘なんだ
Growing up during the golden age of classic fighting games, Haruo's growing relationship with the silent yet skilled Akira not only paves the way for an organic love story that proved to be more potent than the most devastating of finishing moves, but also plays host to some of video games' greatest hits. Where else can you see Guile and Zangief offering romantic advice to anime adolescents?
諦めるな間に合わなくても行くしかない全力でまっすぐに
Number 11, Kakigurui. Sensual, sociopathic, and splendid. That's Yumiko for you.
震いましょう
In a school where gambling determines social status, winning offers you a life of luxury, while losing literally turns you into a slave. Then Yumiko turns up and everything is thrown on its head. With a love and addiction to gambling that is borderline orgasmic, she proceeds to challenge the highest-ranking members of the school just for the thrill of it. Be warned, if you bet against her, be prepared to experience Yumiko's madness up close. Number 10, Baki. A continuation from one of classic anime's most iconic fight fests, Netflix's reintroduction of Baki and his fellow fighters has proven to be a whirlwind of testosterone that continues to surprise us. From taking on death row convicts all the way to the son of Muhammad Ali, this series has no filter when it comes to the craziness of its battles. One minute you're watching Baki clean house with his in-depth knowledge of martial arts, and the next you've got his death-dealing father randomly appearing to give him a terrifying rendition of the Birds and the Bees. Just do yourself a favor and accept the crazy. We guarantee you'll love the results. Number 9, Knights of Sidonia.
Hey, you! Newbies shouldn't get to be in a craft like this. So you better make it count, or I'll deck you.
Right. Granted, the animation can be hit and miss at times, especially when you're spending time with our admittedly mediocre cast, but where this series really excels is with the Gauna, the alien creatures that literally broke Earth in half and sent humanity fleeing into the darkness of space.
That's why we're sure to beat the Ghana. Wait and see.
Right. With a growing sense of isolation and desperation, this gritty take on the mecha versus alien trope serves as a much-needed refresher as to why you should fear what comes from the stars. Also, they're gross as hell. Number 8, Little Witch Academia.
Ready for takeoff?
Stop what you're doing right now and binge watch this show. While many newcomers will cry out Harry Potter at first glance, the Witches of Luna Nova Academy are very much their own entity. As wannabe sorceress Akko and her dysfunctional friends try to navigate their way through the magical semester, an endless amount of charm, legit laughter, and heartfelt encounters await them and us along the way. To say this series cast a spell on all who watch it would be a huge understatement. Plus, it's worth watching for Diana's swagger alone.
Wouldn't you agree?
Number 7, Beastars.
この時俺が出会ったのは小さなウサギと自分の本能だった。
Set in a world where anthropomorphic carnivores and herbivores live side by side in a society not too dissimilar to our own, this series wastes no time in presenting the big questions on issues such as race, segregation, violence, and where does the line between love and instinct start to blur? After encountering and subsequently falling for a rabbit named Haru, introverted wolf Legoshi's life starts to spiral, forcing him to confront the many established prejudices he's learned to live with as he pursues a romance that seems doomed to fail.
俺は君が好きだ。
Its subject matters are heavy, but it's presented in such an engrossing way you won't be able to turn away. Number 6, The Disastrous Life of Saiki K. We'll take any chance to talk about this glorious comedy, and since Netflix pushed out the second season and the reawakened follow-up, we can.
やれやれまたいつも通りこいつらに振り回される災難な日々が始まるのか
Despite being a psychic with enough power to decimate the planet if he wanted to, Kuso Saiki just wants to live a mundane, middle-of-the-road life, only for him to be constantly surrounded with the most eccentric of classmates who never fail to disrupt his day, and in most cases force him to use his abundance of Esper abilities to resolve whatever hilarious antics they forced him into.
腹減ったからラーメン行こうぜ。
これはとんでもないことをしてしまったんじゃ
Number 5, Kengan Ashura. Out of all the bare-knuckle brawlers hopping onto the Netflix bandwagon, this savage series stands atop them all due to a slick combination of excellently choreographed fights, a tournament arc playing host to some truly outrageous contenders, and a lead who doesn't know the meaning of restraint when it comes to smashing in skulls. Oma's vengeful journey has everything you could want, including a plethora of killers, psychos, and legit monsters for him to test his mettle against, the majority often finding themselves beaten and bloody by his fist. Number 4, Dorohedoro. Welcome to the madhouse, folks. This action-packed anime stars a dude with a lizard face named Kaiman, who happens to also have a sentient head living inside his mouth, trying to restore his memories. with a striking blend of dark humor, gory fights, and surprisingly touching interactions between its brutal cast, Kaiman's quest to restore what was stolen from him is a bloody good time no matter how you slice it. Number 3. The 7 Deadly Sins.
The symbol's right there on his shoulder! It's right there!
Layered with a cast of quirky yet badass protagonists, this show is fantasy action at its best. In order to save the kingdom that once shunned them from a deep-rooted corruption, 7 knights, all based on the deadly sins, take up arms and kick serious amounts of ass along the way.
That all you got?
The banter is on point, the fight scenes have never heard of the word subtle, and every word from Ban's mouth is sheer gold. Wrath, greed, sloth, pride, lust, envy, and gluttony have never looked so good. But it's no Neo Yokio, let's be honest.
Hey, I take offense at that, lady.
Number 2. Violet Evergarden. Saturated with gorgeous animation along with a narrative that is bound to have you in tears, Violet's journey from tool of war all the way to empathetic ghostwriter is one of Netflix's proudest achievements to date. Following her fallen commander's parting words, Violet finds herself employed as an auto-memory doll, wandering around the country and writing letters for those wanting to express what lies in their hearts. Throughout these encounters, Violet not only starts to break free of her solemn shell, but also discovers the many facets that come with being a human, both the painful and the beautiful. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Devilman Crybaby. A truly haunting take on what was already hailed as one of the darkest properties to ever come from the early manga scene, this latest incarnation of Devilman blends together the exquisite fluidity made famous by director Masaki Yuasa with an unrelenting look at every taboo mankind is capable of creating. Following his sudden transformation into a demon hybrid, the once timid Akira declares himself as a protector of humans, only to find himself caught in the middle when the worst of man and demon rises to the surface in a truly unforgettable and uncomfortable display of brutality. Even years on, it still holds the title for Netflix's best and darkest anime venture. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.